Hi, this is Chris from the Stephanie Miller Show. Please enjoy this exclusive clip from Political Voices Network.
You tweeted, let's get down to brass tacks. The Supreme Court will not make the judiciary a second-class branch of government by ruling that a president can commit any and all crimes, including against SCOTUS, with complete immunity against prosecution. Ain't going to happen. As a layperson, even this Supreme Court, I agree with you.
Especially this Supreme Court, because don't they love their supreme status? Don't they love being above the law, beyond the reach of ethics, really more than I think any other Supreme Court? And the last thing they're going to do is declare that a president can commit any crime, including imprisoning Supreme Court justices, with absolute immunity. Because
even the ones that deserve it, like Clarence Thomas. Okay, sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. One of the things they'll be doing is, one, giving away all their power, and two, announcing to Joe Biden, you are free to commit any and all crimes you want to try to unlawfully retain the power of the presidency. And listen, I don't want to turn this into a parody, but if you have two presidents, Trump and Biden, and both of them have free reign to violate any and all laws with impunity, if you're going to have a dictator, I'd rather have a benevolent dictator than an evil dictator. Now, these are stupid discussions to be having, but Donald Trump has put us in this stupid place.
No, I said literally it would be that Biden can shoot Trump on Fifth Avenue, and it's okay if that's the way they rule. So
that's not America, and the Supreme Court will not rule that way.
Yeah, I agree with you, Glenn. I'm curious where you come down. We played a soundbite, going into you, and we're in this nightmare scenario, this race against the clock, and God forbid the at least possibility that Trump could become president and make all this go away, and that we're at this time frame. Where are you on the Garland thing? Because I know we were saying our friend AG and your friend from Mueller, she wrote, has been talking about how, what's the legal term? Blocked.
Right.
Yeah.
Garland was by, some Trump appointees back in the beginning. And, but I also, if you hear the reasoning, he should have appointed, Smith sooner. I mean, where do you come down on that we're in this time crunch we're in now?
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm glad we have Jack Smith, because he is going as hard as a prosecutor can possibly go. And I so appreciate that. He's really fighting to save our democracy. Merrick Garland, not so much. For whatever reason, I think he's decided, this is my kind of informed speculation, that, there's this misguided sense that we have to preserve the integrity and reputation of the Department of Justice by not doing anything that anybody could claim is political. What you're doing is you're catering to the people who would misuse
Trump's politicization.
that argument that it's political. And he's let's be real here, he's letting statute of limitation after statute of limitation. Those are the deadlines for bringing criminal charges. He's letting them expire one after another for the crimes that Donald Trump committed while in office. That's a recipe for disaster. He hasn't met the urgency of the moment. I don't believe it is born of nefariousness or affiliation with the Federalist Society. I believe it is a misguided sense of trying to keep the DOJ above a fray when DOJ should be in that dang fray with both gloves off.
That's right.
Knocking the crap out of these crimes.
Right. It's as I just said. I feel like he's overcorrected for Trump's politicization of the Department of Justice.
Put it more eloquently and succinctly than I did. Overcorrected.
No one wants to hear from me during this segment, Glenn. But this is what I mean when we mention the Supreme Court. It just all of this stuff. We've never been through this with any president, with any Supreme Court. How, in what universe should there not be ethics where Clarence Thomas has to recuse? His wife is involved. He was the only vote against trying to shield Trump from having to turn over documents on January 6th in the first place. He is compromised.
And it's not just, I agree with you on the Clarence Thomas front, but they had an opportunity to put themselves under a code of ethics, and they absolutely refused to do it. We see this 14-page, ethics rules that they issued. It's a pamphlet of suggestions. It says the Supreme Court justices shouldn't engage in misconduct, but it's fine if they do, because There is no enforcement mechanism, and we're not telling them they can't. We're just telling them they shouldn't. Well, of course, they will continue. The Alitos and the Thomases of the bench will continue to engage in misconduct.
Yeah. So I believe we were quoting another legal expert who said that Giuliani's defense strategy was the worst possible defense strategy ever invented by the human mind. I mean, it just... There it is, my first drink of the day, Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Many of you know my story. I stopped drinking wine for 3 years during COVID, during the lockdown as part of a health reset. Now I drink wine in moderation, but this is an amazing new product. I've always believed in probiotics. And Z-Biotics, check this out. You drink just one of these. It's the world's first genetically engineered probiotic. It was invented by PhD scientists to tackle rough mornings after drinking. I am using this and I feel great in the morning. I don't have to worry if I have an extra glass of wine. I still feel great in the morning. Here's how it works. When you drink, alcohol gets converted into a toxic byproduct in the gut. I've always had acid reflux problems. It is this byproduct, not dehydration, that's to blame for your rough next day. Z-Biotics produces an enzyme to break this byproduct down. All I know is it works. It is Z-Biotics pre-alcohol probiotic. Go to zbiotics.com/politicalvoices or scan the QR code on the screen right now.